All right. Going live, testing things out. Haven't really done a lot of live streams from the house. So normally when I'm doing live streams, I'm testing things out, or I'm doing live streams at the arena, at the gym. This is a little bit different. New style of live stream for me. Basically, I got some fun stuff from a supporter, and we're gonna install them and see how they work, see how they go. I just got to test some voice levels real quick, test out the microphone, making sure that that's all set up, ready to go. Clear off my desk a little bit, and I'm also going to test and see how the health of the stream is. It looks like it's okay. Looks like we're doing all good. I'm going to go crazy for a second and actually unmute myself and see what happens. And that's going to make my computer go a little crazy. That's all right. That's fine. Okay, this seems good. Seems okay. Cool. All right. Sounds good. All right. Let's see. Moving stuff around. And I'm up on Twitch as well. If you are interested in watching this instead of on YouTube, if you'd rather see it on Twitch, I'm streaming on Twitch right now. Channel name is Aldoss Plays Nerf. So that is also there. Yo, what up, Kareem? Good to see you, bud. I've got a new, I'm about to drop another video edit that features you basically rocking me the entire time. So it's from a couple weeks ago with Push. You should definitely buy a Kronos. Actually, bam, Kronos. So good. Actually, if you want, I think I have some extra K26 springs left over from some other orders that I got. I think I've got maybe like a dozen or so K26 springs down in the basement. So if that's something that you want to do, this thing. So I think these fire something around 90 feet per second. The out of the box, I think the Apollo was clocked in at like something around 100. Pretty sure these go around 90, but if you wanted to pop a K26 in it, let me know. It does make it pretty hard to prime though, but I'll bring that on Friday if you want, and we'll see about popping one in and seeing how it goes. Ooh, putting an Artemis in a Kronos. Ah, okay, all right. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so real quick, so my boy Mitchell sent over some fun stuff. So I had the battle tested video of the Grihas grip, especially talking about putting a K26 in a Kronos. The problem with having a K26 Kronos is it makes it extremely challenging to prime. Basically, you really only get these two ridges on each side in order to prime it. That can either make it impossible for somebody to prime it because you got to have a lot of finger grip strength for it, or you have to like crush it between your palm and your fingers, and that can also be a challenge to prime. And so up until today, the only option that I had was this Grihas grip that Grihas so lovingly sent me, courtesy of him. And I mean, they've been phenomenal so far. I've absolutely loved them. They've greatly improved my ability to use the Kronos in the arena, and it's been fantastic. However, I said in that video, there are other things on the market that are helping out with the conundrum and the problem of having to prime, I guess even just prime the Kronos in and of itself, making that a little bit more functional, more easy to do. but especially if you upgrade the spring, that makes it significantly more challenging. And so one of those, I think there was, somebody has a T-pole handle. I think that was Iktami or somebody else that 3D printed theirs. And just recently, somebody, I think actually Kermaster, who is typically around for live streams, maybe not today though, he's in the Netherlands, so it's probably super late for him over that way. He knows a guy that got contacted by Worker, and he designed these T-pole handles. Obviously the thing is right in the way there, but these are, I think they're aluminum. This one actually doesn't have a protector on top of it. So these are T-pole handles. I think they're cast aluminum. I don't know if they're milled. I don't know if they're machined. They don't necessarily come with instructions. I assume that when Mitchell sent these, he must have bought them from Out of Darts, because they also came with an Out of Darts sticker as well. So that was interesting. And then also just like, you know, that nice little thanks from Out of Darts and the Nerf mod shop. So I assume if you were interested in getting your own, you can go head over to his shop as well and test those out. But yeah, we're gonna do a quick install. It doesn't come with instructions. However, I assume that these just go where the prime indicator is on the back of the Kronos. I assume they're gonna go in right there into that slot. They're CNC machined. Interesting. Ah, thank you so much. Actually, I might check that out right now, just so I can do Foam Focus Facebook page. Let's go. I've never heard of Foam Focus. Where are you guys from? Now you just put the keyboard all the way over that way. Foam Focus. Yeah, where are you guys located? Oh, okay, Netherlands. That makes sense. Duh. Are you the guy that like designed these, and Worker like took up the job of actually like producing them? Okay, Foam Focus. Give you a quick little like. Development and production, distribution, consultancy. Ah, interesting. Products and accessories for foam blasters. Just in case you care, accessories is spelled wrong on your display. Not a big deal, but just letting you know. Okay. Let's see. CNC parts. Kronos. Hey, fantastic. Instructions. Cool. That's very helpful. I'm glad that you joined the stream. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Okay, well, first things first, I gotta take this Grihas grip off. So let's get that all situated. Let's see. Assisted design. Oh, dude, that's so cool. Okay, so especially after the whole debacle that Worker had with the Blastertech Scar, I don't know if you guys were aware of that. That was a little drama hit against Worker. Basically, they just came up with their own Scar barrel, but it was basically just a complete and total rip off of the Blastertech Scar barrel. And obviously they apologized. They said that very few things make it through the Great Firewall of China, and that was part of the reason. Whether or not I believe them or not, I mean, like, I'll say then I didn't really believe them. Now, knowing that these were designed by you, Triangle DIY, Foam Focus accessories and consultancy and whatnot, they kind of got pushed up a little bit in my book and saying like, hey, that is pretty cool that they are reaching out to people in the community and saying, hey, let's work together, let's design stuff together and go about the process of producing stuff. I think I gotta prime that back. Again, 3D printed, super cool, fantastic. All right. Captain Cardinal, welcome. Broke Nerfing, welcome to the stream. I'm installing these things. which were actually designed by Triangle DIY in the stream, also known as Foam Focus on Facebook. Head over to his Facebook page, drop it a like. Actually, you know what? I'll put a link right over this way in the stream. Get that over. I'm gonna come up as Rochester. Oh, is it? Can I not do that right now? Huh. Streamlabs, you should figure that out. I can't comment on my own stream. Huh. Interesting. How can that work? Oh well. I can't actually comment on my own stream right now because Streamlabs just made a recent update and something's not working right. But anyway, Foam Focus on Facebook. You should go check that out. Give them a like. Okay, so now that I've got that open, I think I've got to take the top part of this Kronos off. So let's go for it. I think I've only taken this thing apart once in the past, and it was specifically for the installation of my wrong side. Installation of the K26, and then I have never needed to take this thing back apart again, which I think is incredible. That is a huge testament to how incredible the design is of these things. Every time I open this thing up though, it's just like, man, this is one of the most sturdy blasters I've seen Hasbro design in a very long time. I'm gonna be boring for just a moment. Oh my god, that doesn't go in all the way. I think these divots are too deep for my screwdriver. Uh-oh. I gotta get a longer screwdriver. Be right back. Can never have too many kits of dinky screwdrivers. Phillips 0. Oh my god, that one's really in there. There we go. Baroque Nerfing, how you doing? How was Ragnar Oktoberfest? That looked awesome. I did watch a little bit of Wacom's new video, basically a huge overview of, oh, there you go, Foam Focus, nice, yeah. Huge overview of Ragnar Oktoberfest, but man, that thing was long. That was like a 40-minute long video. I think I only got through half of it to start off with. I'll have to watch the rest of it later. But did look pretty sweet. Looked like you guys had a lot of fun. Okay. Oh yeah, I saw your video as well. The Nerf night. I saw the mod night as well. I saw you posted that one. Did you post any 5v5 stuff yet? I think I was on the lookout for it. I've been getting a little bit confused with all the different stuff that was going there. Yeah. With all the celebrity people showing up for that mod night. That was pretty cool, dude. I'm glad that worked out for you. And that, you know, that was like so close to the venue that you were just able to like group everybody together, get them all in one place, and kind of just do like a cool little meet and greet. I think that's pretty awesome. Okay, next picture. Yes, we're there. Remove the orange piece as shown in the picture. That's where the T-pole handle will mount. Okay. So because I don't think I've ever actually had to use this now that I think about it. I think some other people that come to the arena on Fridays have had some jamming issues, but I think that those people, when they put in their K26 springs, because I'm pretty sure most people that use the Kronos in the arena are using an upgraded one. I think they put in too many coils for theirs, maybe thinking that they were going to seep some more power out of it. Like, I don't really know why you'd want to get that much more power out of Kronos, but I think they use too many, and that's why they've been having jamming issues. I've literally never had to use this, so I think that's kind of cool. Okay, that gets removed. Make the hole in the back of the side big. Oh, interesting. We got to do some cutting. Ah, interesting. Okay. Work slowly, just fit off and don't care. Foam focus. What's the best way to do this, do you think? If I take some, I see a file in the photo. Should I file it down? And then I'm assuming you mean this, the actual like rectangular part, and not the orange part hole that we just took out. So I don't know how, but for me it works. Okay, so if you mount the pole, you should be able to double feed. Oh, I gotcha. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I'm just gonna quickly just put this on real quick and just see what happens, just because I'm interested. Oh, I get it. I thought it went up here. It goes down here and will actually get covered by that screw port. That makes a lot of sense. It probably makes it a lot more rigid too as well. And so that is why this needs to get opened up and made bigger. So I guess I'm doing some filing as well. Let's... I might have to go grab a file as well. Because I don't have anything here that can help me. All right, I gotta leave you for a second. I gotta go down to the shop and down to the basement and grab something that can open up that hole real quick. All right, foam focus, you're the man with the plan. So I'm looking at the design of this. Obviously, it's not rectangular, but it's also not circular, because I imagine where the shell is actually going to go is right in the channel in between the T-pole and this internal part. So would it make more sense to use a rasp, or would it make more sense to have straight lines and use the edge of the file on this side? That would be my only guess there. And then on top of that, there's not a very large hole in order to get a lot of power with these files, so that'll be challenging. Oh man, I saw Boomtendo's. Actually, has he done his Kickstarter yet for that? I know he was planning on doing it. I thought he said he was going to launch it at Ragnar Oktoberfest, or whether or not he was going to wait until after. But yeah, that's a really cool idea. I've never really used Boomco darts. I think I've used a few when Harrison was around, GDAP26, the crafter and creator of the Spring Thunder. He loves them a lot. We just don't really buy them at the arena. And then like we just don't want to like have to stock so many different things, and there's not really that many people that use them. I hear good things about them though, that they are way better with accuracy and maybe even longevity, depending on how you care for them and how you pick them up and that kind of thing. So, hello, Delta Dog Nerf, welcome. We are installing worker T-pole handles, or at least attempting to. I just don't entirely know. I was not really aware that I had to do some cutting for this, so I'm not really prepared. I don't know exactly the best way to go about this, so I wonder how big of a hole I'll need to make. I think I might start off with the round rasp and kind of just go from there. I don't think I need to do that much work here in order to open that thing up, but I definitely have to do a little bit. Let's see. It's also not that much space to work with because the dart post is in the way, and that's a little challenging as well. It also means that you can't really get a lot of power behind this because it's so tiny. Go diagonal though. That might work. Oh, that's doing something. Come on. Let's do a quick test. Okay, all right, it's starting to go. Definitely not halfway, but it's in there. It looks like I gotta make it a little bit wider, or I guess taller, because it's gonna be straight up and down that way. Damn Zombies 86, welcome. Dude, it got rescheduled, I know. I was all set, ready to go for this weekend. New day is November 17th. But hopefully that means that my wife can come too, because we had a little plan set with an event on this Saturday. And so the plan was she was going to stay home and do some work, and I was going to go to the event and have fun. And it's never all that much fun because obviously I married her. I like her. I love her. And I want to go shoot some zombies with her. Yeah, that wasn't going to work out for this weekend. So I guess I'm kind of happy that it's getting rescheduled, but I was also really planning and gonna be having some fun this weekend. I was ready to go. I wonder, I think actually, so Harrison was gonna be in town for it. Again, the creator of the Spring Thunder. We were gonna do a 3-person Spring Thunder squad with myself, Brandon, and Harrison, and that was gonna be kind of cool. I don't know if he's going to come in. He was going to be a part of this week's live stream during the Friday Nerf War. I don't know if he's still planning on coming up now that it's got rescheduled. He's not that far away. He's over up in Boston, but it would be great to have him even still. I really don't file too much with my blasters. I like them the way they are, but you know, sometimes you gotta. So foam focus, would you say that the shells, both sides of the shell need to meet directly in the center of the handle? Because right now I only have about a third of the way, and I imagine there shouldn't be a gap in between both of them. So if that's the case, I'm just gonna continue to do some more filing. It's your birthday, cool. My birthday's on the 29th, so I'll be shortly after, but it will be cool to have this done in November. No gap, should meet like normal. All right, here we go. More filing, getting it done. It looks to me that the height is the main issue with this and not the width. So it looks like the circle that's there, that little dot, it needs to go a little bit taller, further up. I also kind of like, so originally I thought that this was going to occlude the prime indicator. And I don't necessarily use the prime indicator that much, but I was a little like, oh no, it's going to occlude the priming indicator, like replace it completely. That's a shame. But now it looks like that doesn't happen, and that's not the case. So that's cool. Good job working that out. Just so I can gauge foam focus on how terrible I am at modding, how quickly should this take? Because I'm going super slow at this. Not quite there. More filing. I'm going to start going more towards a square edge on each side, trying to drop the width a little bit. Thanks for being a part of the stream, by the way, Foam Focus. I would have been very confused and very lost had I just done this blind without really knowing what was going on. Like I said, I had no idea that there was filing involved with this. I thought it was just a drop-in installation. Not to say there's anything wrong with filing with a mod kit or anything else like that. Like, obviously, modders are gonna mod and do whatever, but I was ill-prepared. All right, how we looking? How we looking? As is the case with all filing, you always think you're so close, and then you do a test, and you are so far away. Sorry, Aldoss got a jam, preparing to do a live stream. Oh, cool, with Clowny. Oh, is he still doing his build a blaster? I mean, I assume you're gone by now, but I've been following his build a blaster series. That's fun. He's a fun guy. Let's see. So Damn Zombies, I think what the cool thing is about this, I don't think there necessarily needs to be a comparison between them, because you can actually use both at the same time. I have full intention of having this on the back of the blasters and these on top, and then I can always just kind of choose which one makes the most sense for me in this situation, in the scenario, whatever happens to be going on. So yeah, I won't necessarily compare them, but I will tell you what I think about the T-pole afterward, because I mean, having options is great. Having a different way of priming it, especially a way that you don't get with the Greenhouse grip, because it's not really something that you can pull on. It just gives you all that extra, I don't want to say texture, but it gives you extra ledges or extra edges that you can actually apply force against in order to get the thing primed. And the cool thing with this T-pole is that you can actually wrap your fingers around it. And I think a lot of people would have an easier time with the T-pole handle. The problem is, at least for me, sometimes I don't necessarily like the idea of having to feel for it or having to develop a new muscle memory as to where it is, and then having to be all the way on the back side of the blaster rather than up. It feels like my hand would have to travel farther. How much does that really matter? I don't really know, but we'll find out. Retest. Hey, that's looking a lot better. I don't know if you can see this. Getting there. It looks pretty good. I think I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to start on the other side of the shell and start filing that down and kind of try to meet in the middle as best as we can get it and go from there. This is riveting entertainment. Also, thanks to Mitchell for sending these over. You are a champion, my friend. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful and kind supporter of the stream week in and week out. Also going to take a moment to plug my Discord channel if you want. There's a link down in the description for the Discord. Mitchell's there. I'm there relatively frequently. We've got Kermaster, who shows up on YouTube as Dem Random. Some of the players in the arena frequent it as well. Sometimes we're discussing things related to the stream. Sometimes we're discussing things related to game modes or just stuff in general. Newport Nerfer 113 is there on a very regular basis as well. And it's just a good old fun fashion time. So if you enjoy using Discord, definitely hit us up. Have some chatting, have some chat. This one's a little bit harder to get only because I accidentally, the screw port doesn't go as high. So instead of getting to hit it on the wall, I'm actually starting to slowly chip away at it because I'm going a little bit too far. So this one's going to take a little bit of extra time, unfortunately. It's like the slowest one. Going somewhere. If I weren't streaming, I would probably just take a Dremel to it. Let's be honest. It would take so much less time. But my Dremel's downstairs, and I don't think my wife would be happy with me dremeling up here. I don't know how to get the camera downstairs. If I were smart, I would have had my transmitter and receiver, which I keep at the gym, here handy, so that I would be able to go wireless with my stream, with the camera, but not today, folks. Delta Dog, hey Aldoss, have you ever done a Snapfire mod? No, I've actually never used a Snapfire. Do you recommend them? Are they good? Is that the Snapfire, like the one that has the prime and the trigger pull is in one, and so you never have to actually like prime the blaster? You load it and then it works on a smart AR system to flow the air into the specific dart, so you can hold like 5 darts or 6 darts or something like that. Voidcaster, maybe that's what I'm thinking about. Maybe that's, or is the Snapfire the same? I don't really remember. Yeah, Mitchell, I mean, they look good. They look good, I'll give you that. They fit with the blaster super well. The matte black is like so my style. That is really cool. I really do think I'm gonna like them. I was looking at them before. When I first opened them up, I was kind of like, ooh, T-pole, I don't really know. And then part of me is also like, oh, exposed metal on a blaster that I'm gonna be like wielding and moving around and that kind of thing, and like I don't really know how I feel about that. But after like when I was showing people them, I was like moving them around in my hand, and then before I knew it, like 10 minutes had gone by and I was still just like fiddling with it. They feel really nice. It's so cool. And it's a very special kind of feeling of just like, oh, this is something that I want to use just because it feels nice. It's just like gripping it is really cool, and feeling the sturdiness of the metal is also pretty awesome. So there's a lot to be said for that, that's for sure. And again, I won't know entirely how much I like them until I actually use them on Friday, which I will be using them on Friday. So I don't know what game modes we're doing this Friday. I don't know what we'll be doing for the stream, but we will be streaming as normal, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh yeah, actually, Foam Focus. Yeah, you go get some sleep. From the Netherlands, dude, man. But again, thank you so much for being a part of this, because I would be so lost if you were not here. I would have no idea what I was doing. Yeah, so thanks so much. Oh, now we're moving. Now we're grooving. Go, go. The diagonal is definitely what needs to happen right now. Okay, let's do a quick form fit just so I can see what's going on. Oh, that's really, okay, there we go. All right, so with that much sanding, I don't know how much you can see of that actually. Definitely needs a little bit more work. It's a pretty snug fit though, that's kind of cool. So there shouldn't be, oh my God, any real wiggle in order to operate and use it. So that's good. I think it's got to go a little taller and maybe a little wider as well. Dude, HVZ in the arena, that's fun. That is so fun. That's something that you don't really get anywhere else, just because of how many places there are to hide. And also just the fact that we let our zombies run. Like, I totally get being safe and being cautious. Like, we never want people to get injured. Thankfully, we do a very nice job in the arena with that, and making sure that people are making responsible decisions and that kind of thing. But there's something that's just really special about being able to evade zombies while like using actual parkour in an actual parkour gym. So glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, I think that was your first one so far. We do them frequently. We try to throw zombie modes into the schedule at least once or twice a month. Maybe not once or twice a month. Maybe at least once a month. I actually don't remember the last time I had we did HVZ for the Friday event. So maybe I'm a liar. Favorite blaster? Oof. I don't know, man. I am so digging my Spring Thunder recently. There's something so special about the Spring Thunder. And if you haven't seen it, you should go look at not last week's live stream replay, but the week before. I was using it quite frequently. There's also one stream where I literally use it for the entire night. And there's something just incredible about this blaster that uses shells. I've got one of these here because I accidentally stepped on it on Friday, and hopefully we can fix that if we have enough time. I don't know, because this is taking a little bit longer than I thought. But there's something so special about this blaster. Knowing that so being able to have it be pump action, which is something that everybody in the modding community is so obsessed with. People that have even like modded their Kronoses to have pump action. That's crazy, but it's also awesome at the same time. The fact that you're going to take this pistol and say, you know what, pistol, you're going to be a shotgun. You're gonna prime like a shotgun, and I'm going to put a handle on you so that I can have both hands on the blaster at the same time. For whatever reason, modders do it all the time. They say, yeah, this is the best way to operate a Springer blaster is to have a pump on it. Which isn't knocking pumps, just saying that like everybody wants this, you know, a pump prime action in order for the blaster to work. And so the fact that it is a pump prime, unlike some other shotguns that Nerf has decided to come out with or display, the fact that it actually uses shells is so cool. It arguably, when you're loading them, you kind of think that they're not cool because it takes so long to load out. Even just like a usable loadout, which I would consider in the 30 to 40 shell range. Really, if you're there at a war, especially for longer game modes, you should be running nothing less than 50 shells. And they can be all different types too. And that's the other thing that I really love about the Spring Thunder and the platform that Harrison is creating with it, because you can have multiple ammo types in the same loadout, and you have to do nothing with your blaster. You literally just load in, oh, I'm going to use a 3-rival buckshot for the first shot. The second one's going to be a singled regular sized dart. And then the third one is going to be a doubled dart. And then the fourth one can be like 3 Boomco spread shot. Or it could also, you can load it with like 6 half-length Steffens, and it's unbelievable. You get this many different ammo types all in the same blaster, and you can load them out and fire them all the same without doing anything else with the blaster. It's incredibly fun. It definitely takes a long time to understand how to use though, because nothing else in the Nerf world is like this. Nothing else uses shells and ejects them. And so understanding how to make your loadout work for you in that sense can take some time. I think I'm finally starting to figure that out a little bit, and I'm starting to actually not be a huge burden to my team members when I'm using it. I remember the first couple times that I used the Spring Thunder as my main loadout. I think actually one of the first time that I used the Spring Thunder all night, I think I lost every game. And that sucked. that felt so bad, man. It was just, I don't know if I've ever been, I was a negative Nancy that night. I was not having a lot of fun. And part of it was just I was making stupid decisions, and I was not being a team player, and maybe I wasn't calling out things as much as I normally do, and that kind of thing. So there's definitely, it wasn't just the fact that I was using this new blaster that I had never used before. Well, I mean, I guess I had kind of played around with it before, because Harrison literally beta tested it for months before he finally moved away and graduated. But which, by the way, we missed you, Harrison, and you should come back and get a job in Rochester. But the blaster is just, it's such a joy to use. It's one of those things that just, it doesn't even make that much sense that you can feel this way towards a blaster and just be like, this is the coolest thing I've ever used. So I would say that that's my favorite right now. Obviously I love my Sentinel as well. Okay, we still have quite a ways to go for that. Filing is not the way. Take a Dremel, people. But yeah, this is gonna, you know what, I might switch strategies now, and I'm gonna switch over to my square file. Try to get a better edge on this and drop it drop it down, lift it up a little bit. Let's see. Yes, dude, I do remember you nearly falling. Actually, you did fall, didn't you? You fell on mats, though, which is great, but you're up tall. You gotta pay attention, man. Did you see the Nerf shotgun that Captain Xavier... Oh, yeah, the shotgun Kronos? Yeah, dude. That's actually... he was one of the first people that I saw be crazy enough to put a pump on the Kronos. Actually, and then from there, he even, obviously because he had the pump on it, he used that PVC pipe to extend out the mag, the internal mag, and he was able to make it, what, I think like a 10 rounder? That's insane. That dude's incredible. There's so many people in the Nerf world too that I have yet to meet. Haven't had the chance of meeting Jangular in real life. I haven't met Beret in real life. Most of those people are over on the West Coast. So obviously they were over there for the Ragnar Oktoberfest. And that's something that I would love to be able to do in the future, but is not in the books for me right now. I would love to figure out, I'm hoping that next year, I think Drax said that he's moving End War to Georgia, and I don't have confirmation on that yet, but I do know that a lot of people are talking about it and discussing it. If that's the case, that will be a little bit more challenging for me to go to than the Ohio War, because Ohio is relatively close to Rochester, but still got a little ways to go. I'm actually going to take this one off this side, and I'm going to do the same thing that I'm doing here on this one. I'm going to try to square this off a little bit because I think the roundness is hindering me from using the rasp. I think I need it to have that square angle. The inside of this T-pull is not circular. It is hexagonal. Hexagonal. So I think it will benefit from having these squared off edges. Missouri will be a challenge to get to, or yeah. I mean, you're pretty central though, so if you were going to think about, hey, if there were one event that I were going to go to all year that's a Nerf event, and whether or not it's Ragnar Oktoberfest or if it's End War, like you're pretty central to both of them. So obviously having to buy a plane ticket though is a challenge, especially for people in the Nerf community that we're so keen on thriftiness and janky mods and everything else. Plane tickets for an HVZ event might not be the greatest priority, but if you choose to, they look so fun. It looks like people have a really good time at them as well. Oh, you're so close. I think it's the height. Height as in up and down on the y-axis. I think that's what is limiting me right now, so I gotta make it taller. These files are not helpful for this because they're too big. They're like actual meaty files, and not designed for the tininess of all of this. Like I said, if I weren't live streaming right now, I would totally just Dremel the crap out of this thing. It also looks like the bottom is where most of the material needs to come off on. Manual saw, yeah. I just don't have any small enough, you know what I mean? All the saws that I have are like wood saws. Like I do have a hacksaw somewhere, but the problem is that the screw port is right in the way of the outside shell. So I would have to angle it like crazy in order to make the cut where I need the cut. So I'm sure if I had like a little micro saw, that would work out. But lo and behold, I do not. So I gotta work with what I got. And this is what I got right now. We're nearing the end though. I will tell you that. We're nearing the end. This is also working really well to diagonal, or like go as a diagonal and file it that way. That's very helpful. There we go. There we go. Now we're in action. Once you clear the screw port, you get to actually like go through way more range of motion. Oh, you're so freaking close. Ba-bam. Okay, so close. Oh man, that's like really in there. I think this one's pretty good. I think the bottom shell is what I need to focus on next. Lars, I don't know. It's from Foam Focus. Well, okay, it's not from Foam Focus, but like obviously the design is Foam Focus. But my supporter Mitchell actually sent these over last Friday. I didn't get them in time to I didn't get, well, okay, I will say, knowing what, I thought these were just drop-in mods. Obviously, you got to do a little bit of shell modification, which I'm showcasing right now. However, there are definitely more efficient ways of going about doing this than I am showcasing currently. But I didn't get them in time to install them and use them last week. So hopefully, I will have 2 of these to run around and play with, set for this week. Okay, you look pretty close to halfway. God, you get so close. Oh, hey. Ah. I might be comfortable with that. Oh, maybe I'm not comfortable with that. It's so close, though. Man, this is... Ugh. It's definitely solid, though, which is super nice. That is a very snug fit. I think the main issue, like I said before, I think the main thing that if you guys do end up getting a pair of these, it's the bottom part. You gotta drop, or you gotta get the height from the bottom to the top set in order to fit this, not necessarily the width. And it looks like The main issue is the depth as well. The bottom section of the shell has to come down a lot, which I guess makes sense. Otherwise, it wouldn't be centered properly with the screw port that was there. Smells like something's burning. Do you smell burning? Do you smell burning?
No.
No? That's just me?
It might be behind you.
Oh! I forgot those were back there. We're all good. The candle went out, that's why. Good, cool. All right. I was like, what is going on? Just give my wife a heart attack. Hey guys, like our pumpkins? Oh, ready for Halloween. Is it Kryn? 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 I can't. I don't know. I don't know how to speak. What actually? What language is in the Netherlands? Is it Danish? Or is that just Denmark? Is it some other language that I don't know? I'll risk the possibility of me looking super dumb and uneducated by asking that question. Oh, I'm using the wrong side. Dutch! Ah, of course. That makes sense. Dutch. How do you pronounce his name? Kryn? Like, not necessarily a silent J, but something similar. Regardless, it's a cool design. I really do like it. I was saying before earlier on the stream that I wasn't sure how I was going to like these. When I originally saw them in the box, I was kind of like, I don't really know how I feel about it. But in the process of taking it out and playing around with it, I was very surprised at how nice it felt. And then like 10 minutes had gone by and I was just like fiddling with it in my hands. I'm like, wow, this feels really cool. So there's that. Come on, be done. Please be done. Please be done. Please be done. Because this is taking just a little longer than I thought. Oh, hey. That might be good. I think I'm fine with that. That seems all good. And you can't really tell from the back end that it had to get filed down a little bit, so I think I appreciate that, and I like that a little bit. So let's go ahead and put this back together and see how it goes. Uh-oh. Did I put you in the wrong slot? This screw looks a lot longer, that's why. Totally. You go on this one. You go right there. Limburgs, which are regional languages. Oh, cool. Like dialects. IJ is a very specific sound that doesn't really exist in English. You heard of the metric caliburn, the guy that made it? I have not heard of the metric caliburn. Is that just a different variant of the caliburn, or is it just designed for metric sized, like I would assume tubes or anything else like that? Oh shoot. What did I just do? Did I just break everything? Are you broken? No. All right. Feels pretty good. Not bad. Let's pop the handle back on. Initial thoughts? Feels pretty good. Not bad. I think my favorite part about this so far is just the fact that I can have both of these on. I can have the greenhouse grip up top, I can have the T-handle on the back, and that gives me the opportunity to decide what exactly I want to grab. Because this isn't going to impede any of my other hand positions. I've been using this one recently, been loving that one. I think the only downside from like playing that I could even possibly think of, which probably won't, it's just nitpicking, is just the fact that when I'm using this, my hand would either stay up here or I'd have to travel back this way. I will say though, I normally, when I'm using the blaster, I'm using it at length, and I'm not necessarily in super close. So having to pull in, pop it, press it forward, and then reach out would technically be slower than priming, and I get to use the entire like press of my arm as counter resistance. Press it forward, bam. It's not bad. Feels pretty good. Cool. It's fine. Dry firing's not that bad. I have the air restrictor in still. I'll probably take it apart and lube it up anyway. Thanks for being concerned about my blaster though. Since I've got all the stuff out, I'm going to go ahead and do the other one, but I'm going to hopefully attempt to get it done way faster than this one was. Simply because I know what the hell I'm doing now. Bolts. For those of you that are interested in getting this new handle, I had no idea that this much work was involved, but it just so happened, fortuitous, or it was a coincidental occasion that Foam Focus, the guy that actually designed this T-pull handle, was a part of the stream earlier, and gave me the heads up that he has some instructions on his Facebook page, which is just Foam Focus. If you go on Facebook, you search Foam Focus, you'll be able to find it. And I think the second post down is his guide, basically, I call it a guide. It's not really a guide. It's literally just 5 pictures and saying, remove these screws, take this part out, and then open up the shell by filing it in order to actually use it. That part comes out. Actually, this is only, I think this is only used for the D prime function, if I remember correctly. All right, here we go. Take 2. Hopefully this goes significantly faster, especially now that I have some technique down for this. I also kind of know what I'm doing or how far I need to go in order for this to function and get put on. Damn Zombies 86. I wonder if the internals are exactly the same in the standard and Deadpool Kronos blasters, so you can swap the guts in as things break. Absolutely, they are the exact same blaster. They just changed the exterior coloring and obviously the printing and design of it to have the Deadpool branding. But internally, they are exactly the same. I also had this conversation recently with some other people that were a part of the stream, talking about whether or not the Kronos in and of itself is inaccurate, or if it has something to do with upgrading the blaster, or if it's the hop up or something else. A lot of people were complaining, saying that they put a K26 in their Kronos, and now it fires very or it's very inaccurate in its firing. Not necessarily that it jams, although if you do put too many coils in with your K26, it will absolutely jam. It's just got too much stuff in it, and sometimes it will be a huge pain in the butt to try to deprime. But I had this conversation with somebody else about whether or not the velocity is what makes the rival rounds go haywire, and we concluded that it was not, and that mostly the problem just comes and stems from old rival rounds, old HIRs, because we popped some new ones in, and the thing works wonderfully. They fire laser beams. When you pop that first K26 in, you use some brand new rival rounds, that thing's gonna fire so well, super straight. You can, I mean, people will literally basically snipe with them at the arena. The longest distances that we're engaging in the arena is probably like 60 feet. Maybe sometimes if you're going cross, like true diagonal, you might be able to fire 70 feet. But the usable space is essentially 70 feet long. And if you're behind cover or firing at somebody from cover to cover on each end of the arena, it's probably only 70 feet. And people can actually do very well firing at enemies on the other side of the arena with a Kronos blaster, and they fire really well. But the second you put in and you start using some older, more or I guess less uniform rival rounds, yes, they will curve like crazy and they'll go a little haywire. So if you plan on using a Kronos and you're on the fence about whether or not to upgrade it, I do highly recommend upgrading it. I find it very fun, exceptional. If the priming is an issue, obviously we've got 2 showcased options here: the Greenhouse grip, which is 3D printed, the T-pole from Worker. there. But you can also, I've heard of people that have opted, instead of doing a K26 spring, they'll do a K25 spring. And you don't lose that much power out of it. It might drop the velocity from about 130 feet per second down to maybe like 115 or 120, which I would say is very worth it if the reliable pull and the ability or the ease of prime is something that you care about. Let's see. All right, Delta Dog, cheers. Take care, enjoy your night. Like I said, I wasn't planning on this being this long. I had no idea that this was something that I would have to actually mod. I thought it was a drop-in kit, but yeah, thanks for being around. John's Kronos has some power. Yeah, so John's Kronos blasters also have a K26 in them. I believe they're the exact same coil length as mine, so they should fire about the exact same. But if you're getting hit point blank with a K26 Kronos, yeah, you're gonna feel it. There's gonna be no opportunity to do that thing that the kids do during our family battles, and sometimes say like, "Oh, maybe nobody saw that," and then they don't call their hits. With K26 Kronoses, you call your hit. You know you got hit. You know it. You feel it. Feels bad. Especially if you get hit in a sensitive area, like the nose or other places. This side might be done. Wow. Okay. Once you know what you're going for, it does go a lot faster. Should have had you guys time me. Yeah, Mitchell. I wasn't able to. I was out and about when you sent the link to the muzzle that you used, so I only looked at it briefly. But whatever kit you used, that looked awesome. Actually, if you want to pop that into the chat real quick, so that I can take a look at it again. That thing looks sweet. It's just cosmetic, right? It doesn't do anything for the Kronos. Not that it would. I don't really know how you would. I don't know if you can actually gain any sort of traction other than the hop up that's already there to help make a rival round be a little bit more reliable as it travels through the air. For instance, with darts, like, okay, so the Blaster Tech Scar Barrel I thought was very interesting. It doesn't only have the obvious rifling of the fishing line, and then if you are in the market for a Scar Barrel, the cool thing about the Blaster Tech Scar Barrel is that you can literally just lock it in place when you need to use it, and then you're able to twist it out and put the rifling back to normal so that the fishing line doesn't like overstretch itself, and they last a lot longer because of it. But also, it's ported. It's got these holes on either side to allow some air to escape in a more uniform pattern, and that also helps keep the dart a little bit more stable. I pretty much only use the scar barrel for that on my Sentinel because I'm not firing at a velocity that would actually make use of a real scar barrel, because our velocity limit in the arena is 130 feet per second, and you can't really use a scar barrel with that low of a velocity. You really need something that's shooting about 180 to actually start seeing some benefit from it, if not more like 200 feet per second. Actually, for you people that are on the metric system, why do you guys use feet per second as your velocity limits or your velocity metrics instead of meters per second? Is that something that just you guys like stuck with, and or that like Americans with the imperial system did it first, and so you guys just kind of like conformed to it, or is there other reasons for it? I always look at that and being like, oh, the Australians are, you know, having an event and they've got their velocity and power limits. I've seen some people use joules, actually. That was intriguing to me. I just don't really know how easily people are able to abide by those power metrics, because how easily can you determine the joule of a rival round leaving a blaster? I just found that interesting. I was like, oh, interesting. You guys are using feet per second to measure velocity and power. Almost there. Like I said, if I were not live streaming this, I would be dremeling the crap out of this blaster right now. Probably do this mod in like 5 seconds with the Dremel. It would also be ugly, but you know, whatever. Ooh, this one's way tighter. Why are you way tighter? Oh my gosh, it's almost like I'm gonna break the screw port. What? Like the screw port is not centered. And that one's installed, so I can't look at that one to kind of see. So like if this were the hole on the T-pull handle itself, the screw port should be centered in it, but for whatever reason, the screw port is like down here, and I am pushing it up in order for this thing to get installed. Gosh. Oh man. I can't tell if that's a problem with, I mean, it's CNC'd, so if it's CNC'd, every part would have to be pretty much exactly the same. It's not like there could be a strange misalignment on it. I mean, I guess maybe, but I did not have anything like this on the other blaster. I'm gonna have to take the wall on this all the way down in order for it to fit. Once again, shoutouts to my boy Mitchell here in chat for not only being an awesome guy, but helping keep our streams alive, helping to grow the channel and whatnot, donating his hard-earned money
to help us get certain things. Like most recently, with donations, we've been able to upgrade our video capture card with the live stream rig, and that's been allowing us to keep the stream up and running way more reliably. Before, we were using a Elgato Game Capture HD. Game HD? I don't remember what it was. It was one of the first cards that they created. I found it on Craigslist for, I think, $40 or maybe $50, so it was very affordable. And while it was able to do, like, if I wanted to stream 1080p with it, I would have been able to, but it would have been restricted to 30 frames per second, which isn't necessarily bad. But I really would love to figure out how to stream 1080p 60. And in the process of doing that, I knew that we would have to upgrade the capture card, because what was happening with the Game Capture HD, that's what it's called, the Game Capture HD. What's happening with that one, it has to plug in with a USB, and it's USB 2.0, so the latency on it is pretty awful. And what was happening as well was, even though the programs that I use allow me the ability to use NVENC, which is my graphics card, in order to offload some of the processing power from the CPU over to the graphics card, in order to free up a little bit of processing power for the encoding process. It wasn't able to do it because all this information is coming through this USB 2.0 port, and I wasn't really able to have anything function that way. My computer was running at like 99% capacity the second I would hit stream to go live. And I mean, you can't grow like that. It was not going to function. It was not going to work. So with everybody's donations, I was able to upgrade to an internal game capture card, an Elgato HD60 Pro. And I thought we would have to upgrade the rig even further and go for a brand new motherboard, brand new processor, brand new RAM in order to fit the new motherboard and that kind of thing. And that's why, you see up on that side the campaign that I've got going on, collecting funds in order to allow us to do 1080p streaming. But to my surprise, we didn't even need that. I mean, we still do need it. Don't get me wrong. We've tried 1080p 60. It still doesn't work on the process that I have. The process is about 6 or 7 years old. But it was kind of cool to watch my CPU usage go from 99% when I hit live, and then all we did is switch out and put the new capture card in, and suddenly it's only using like 20% CPU. That's insane. That's crazy. That's incredible. Okay, so I've almost dropped this back wall as much as I am able to, and it is still, hopefully this comes through. I need to drop this little nubby all the way down, because actually, you know what? It might be an inconsistency in the shell, and not necessarily with the CNC'd handle. It's probably not the handle's fault. It's probably Hasbro's fault, and it's probably something to do with an inconsistency on this shell versus this one. You don't really see that often with Nerf branded stuff. You'll see it mostly with Busby stuff or other off-brand foam dart blasters, especially with the Sentinel, because I mean, I've been basically in a love affair with the Sentinel for years, ever since I first got it. I'm still in the process of possibly sending out that mod kit, and getting that produced by a third-party producer, so that I don't necessarily have to focus all my time and energy into milling and machining these aluminum kits for the Sentinel. But in the process of developing this mod for it, though, I've gone through probably 7 Sentinels in the last 2 or 3 years. and you can see a whole lot of variability in the shells and internal parts between one blaster to another. One might be super sturdy and the other just flexes like crazy. I've gone through probably about all 7 original plungers for the Sentinel, which caused me to basically try to redesign the entire part and do it brand new and mill that one out of aluminum simply because of the durability issue. And that's even not just for wanting to upgrade the spring and get more power out of the Sentinel. Even with the stock spring, the plunger tail on a Sentinel is so weak. It is just so weak. It is going to die on you at some point in the future, and nowadays you cannot find these things. They are very challenging to find online, and when you do find them online or on eBay or something else, you're gonna pay some money for it. You're gonna pay $50, $60, $70 to get the blaster, which is unfortunate. Welcome back, Delta. Let's go ahead and put both shells in. So I think this is unfortunate that this one side of the shell is being such a butt. But I feel like I would have had this done by now if I didn't have to spend so much time on this side. All in all, I'd say that this is probably, especially if you're only doing one, if you're only doing one side, or a one, what am I trying to say? If you're only modding one Kronos, you can probably expect this entire process to take maybe like 15 minutes. But for me, obviously, this is taking a lot longer. Oh, jeez. Why did I do this? Why go like this? That's how you go. There we go. Okay. Fantastic. I have to basically file away the screw port too, I think. Actually, that's an idea. If I file away the screw port just a little bit, I should be able to remove some of that flex and free up a little bit of space, and I might not have to focus more on this part of the shell. Let's see. There that goes. Better. Still not great. I'm gonna take the top. Oh my god. Oh god. I'm gonna take the top up a little bit. Mitchell, what do you mean you're still looking? Still looking for what? Spooky, scary skeletons. Like our Halloween decorations? It's on my wife, man. Yeah, it's getting better. Jeez, so challenging. Why are you like this? What happened? Oh, for a Sentinel? Dude, yeah. They are few and far between right now. I even, just because I was curious, I even contacted Busby and I was like, hey, do you guys ever sell off your old assets that you're not making money from anymore, just to kind of recoup some of the costs? Because like injection molding, obviously once you get everything set up and running, like it's very cheap to operate and continue going, but the actual process of creating a brand new injection mold is quite costly. So I just randomly emailed them. I was like, hey, listen, if you were to sell this, or like if you were to put a price on this, like would you ever consider selling the Sentinel parts? And if so, how much would that be? And they basically said no. Basically said no. So I don't know. I thought it would have been cool to say, hey, listen, you've created this blaster that people just absolutely love. Like people love the Sentinel. It is one of the best blasters I think ever designed. It is so wonderful. It was the first blaster that I ever opened up and was like, I understand how you function and how you work. And that's what really got me started modding and doing different things. I gotta work on this side now. And to have them just right afterward come back and say, all right, we're done, no more Sentinels, was just so tragic. I was so bummed by that. And then was it KB Toys? Not KB Toys. Shoot, what went out of business recently? Or not gone out of business, not Toys R Us. Man, what was that other retailer in the US that would always sell like random off-brand stuff? It's been so long I can't even remember what the name of that store is. But there was a store very similar to not a BJ's, not a Toys R Us. It was kind of like a crappier version of Target, essentially. And they had the best selection for Nerf blasters, and they would also have a lot of Busby stuff and Dart Zone stuff back when they were like just getting started. And then right afterward, they went out of business, and so I was out of luck. I actually that's where I bought all my Sentinels from. I went out and was like, well, if this is getting discontinued, I'm gonna buy as many of these as I can afford, and at that time it was 7. So I bought 7 of them, and I have none left. Mitchell, if you want a shell, I can send you a shell. I don't have. I've harvested so many of the internals throughout the years trying to make my primary function, because I've been blowing through internal parts like crazy. But if you want the shell, you can have the shell, man. I might actually be able to get a kit in that. Actually, you know what? Put that away from your mind. Okay. Maybe we can work something out. Maybe like a Christmas gift or something. Okay, that's going in a little bit easier now. I still think I think this part's fine. I think I'm going to square this off just a little bit. This part's almost squared off. I think it's the back side of the shell that I got to fix next. And then this one should be good to go. GRNHEL. How do I pronounce your name? Greenhell? Greenhell? Gurnhell. Why you guys gotta come up with these names that are so hard to pronounce? Welcome to the stream, though. This is riveting, watching me file down these two Kronoses in order to get these T prime handles to work. Okay, I think I'm all done on that part of the shell. Oh my gosh, this thing is so in there. Oh God. I gotta drop this down, I think, a little bit. Next thing, increase the width, and I should be good to go. I think the height is fine. I think the width is not fine. But the width is easy to do. Okay, it's looking better. Come on, big money, big money, big money. No, you were so close. So close, but it feels so far away. I was so hoping that this one was going to go way faster than the other one, and that is not the case. A little bit more width to it. Oh, thanks, man. Was it Kmart? Maybe it was Kmart. Kmart had a ton of awesome selections on a variety of different foam blasters, and when they went out of business, or at least got closed down, that was a shame. That was a hit to the modding community, I think. Saw something that Toys R Us is coming back though. But I feel like at least the Toys R Us around me in the Rochester area, for whatever reason, they like don't stock Dart Zone stuff, and they don't stock Sentinel stuff, or Buzzbee stuff. Walmart does a pretty good job, but nothing of what Kmart used to be. Go on! Why are you so frustrating? It's got to be the screw post. It's got to be just the fact that something with the screw post is off center on the actual shell itself, and that's got to be the only reason why this is not working. This side is perfect. That side is not. Stupid screw post. Options. All right. I mean, I guess I'll just try to file this down. I want to be done. This is so frustrating. Okay, that looks good. Come on. Please function. Please work. Oh, man. Feels bad. Feels bad. I wonder if that will still... I don't think it'll screw together. Okay, next theory. I think that the inside of this is actually creating a burr on the screw port because I can't get all the way in there to file it. So I wonder if that is also impeding my ability to drop that thing down. So I'm gonna grab a razor real quick. All right. Sometimes you just gotta cut stuff. Just shave that down a little bit. Yeah, there was a burr on the inside of this because I can't file all the way down. And so that might have been impeding the handle's ability to drop all the way in. Let's test that theory out. Okay. Come on. No! Nope. Not yet. All right. I'm going to try the depth on this again. Anybody know of any other fun events now that Ragnar Oktoberfest is over? Anybody else hosting some fun events anywhere in the world? Whether it be in the United States, Australia, Europe. I wonder when the next foam flinging skirmish is. Those Brits look like they know how to have fun with Nerf blasters. Not gonna get my hopes up. Not gonna get my hopes up. Not gonna get my hopes up. Oh, hopes are rising. Hopes are rising. What is wrong with you? It's like you want to. You want to do it. You want to go. How are you off center now? What is impeding you? The depth is fine. The height is not. That one goes on so smooth. This one is such a pain in the butt. The height has to go up now. End War. Ooh. Oh yeah. They're hosting it, I believe, I'm pretty sure. I don't have any other facts on this, but I do remember somebody saying that Drac was moving it to Georgia for June of next year. I just really hope so. One of the reasons why we weren't able to go this year is because literally it was hosted on my wife's birthday, and that we had other stuff, other plans, other things to do besides driving that far to go to a Nerf event. As fun as it would have been, she would have come, she would have had fun as well, but you know, on your birthday, you do what you want to do, and that's not what she wants to do, and that's fine. So hopefully, it won't be on June 22nd this year. And we won't be planning a birthday party for my wife, and we'll be able to get to go. I've got some family in Georgia as well, and it would be cool to kind of make a nice long trip out of it and see them as well. So I'm excited for that. What did I do? Okay, all right. When force doesn't work the first time, use more force the second time. Okay, you know what? We're calling that good. Why not? I gotta get this back in here. I never remember how these function. You go that way, you go this way. Yep, you go there, and you go there, right? No. I'm so confused by these little tabbies. You go there. That's how this functions. Maybe that's not how this functions. How does this whole thing work again? Jeez. Anybody remember what orientation these things go in? You must be that part. And you must be that part. Okay, so this one definitely goes on first. And it latches. This one definitely goes on second. Ah, there we go. Perfect. Ah, yes. Home stretch. Home stretch. Making it work. Alright, so the filing I did to the screw port doesn't seem to be hindering it at all. It still seems pretty good. This one definitely looks a little bit more janky from the filing. So you can, I don't know if that'll come through on the video, but that definitely has a lot more like artifacts from the filing process, but that looks pretty good. Anybody gonna yell at me for dry firing again? All right, here's what I was really interested in testing now. No, it's not practical. Oh! Can you prime handle or dual prime handle prime it? Yeah, but it's not practical. So maybe I need to do, I think it was Heath that did the spring return mod on that. If you could like grab it and just yank it and then the spring would return it, that'd be interesting. I feel like I might be able to get that down a little bit easier, but still pretty cool. Okay. Again, like I was saying before, I do appreciate that both of these mods can work independently of each other and they don't take the place of each other. And I am now given the opportunity to say which one I want or I would rather use. I think that that's pretty cool. I'll be interested to play around with these on Friday. Shout out to the live stream on Fridays. If you haven't been a part of it, we would love to have you be a part of it. We have a great time on Fridays. Put a lot of time and effort into making the stream function the way I want it to. There's still a lot of growth opportunities in the future for it. But yeah, it's good to have you guys out for the live event every single week. You can look forward to that. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Friday, or as often as, or as close to every Friday as I can possibly get it. Once again, I want to give a huge shout out to my boy Mitchell, not only for being a wonderful supporter, but also just a good general all-around guy, and sending me these handles to play around with and test out. I think they're super cool. Shout out to Krin. I'm going to butcher that name because I don't speak Dutch, but I think it's really cool that he not only was able to design these handles. I love that they're CNC'd aluminum. They feel so good. They look really good too. And shout out to Worker for being a team player and reaching out to somebody in the Nerf community and using their design to produce a part and not do, or at least not repeat their little mistake and little mishap that happened with Blaster Tech and their Scar Barrel. It looks really cool. It feels really good. I'm excited to play around with it and use it on Friday. And yeah, definitely be a part of that if you can. And if not, check out the stream after. I've got a, I guess check the replay after. I've got a video that I've just uploaded on my channel. It's not live yet. I'm hopefully gonna get, I might put that live later tonight, or at the very least, depending on when I can get all of the descriptions and like thumbnails for that done, I might make it live tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. That's just one of my normal CQB Nerf gameplay edits with like hit indicators and music and that kind of thing. I've got a weekly Nerful Roundup coming up on Saturday as well, so we should get that taken care of and all set up. And if anybody has anything left to say, go for it. Otherwise, I'm going to be ending the stream. Let's see. Let's catch up on stuff real quick. Green Hell says we have a Nerf event every month down here in South Texas. Ooh, I was actually just in Texas, but I was in Dallas. And it was for a wedding, so I wasn't able to take blasters with me because I had to check bags in order to get my my suit over there. But that would be cool. I'd like to check out stuff in the south of Texas. Captain Xavier was saying they might have something up his way in Washington. They've got a lot of cool stuff in the Pacific Northwest. I'd be really interested in checking out more of their usual Nerf events. Drac wants to make and/or a traveling thing, I think that is a good idea. It's like I think it's kind of cool what's happening with End War being kind of like the East Coast giant HVZ FoamCon kind of event, and then Ragnar Oktoberfest being that West Coast one. Looks pretty cool. Bring some K26 on Friday. I got you, Kareem. I can bring a K26 for you on Friday. I'll have it all set up, ready to go, so that we can just pop it in real quick, and you can get one of these working. If it's possible for you to come early, you should come early, so that we can get that taken care of. At least before I go live in the stream, if not just before the game modes actually begin. That's all. This is a 2-hour stream. This is like a normal stream, I guess, but instead of the exciting of, you know, running around and shooting people, it's just me dealing with my blaster and filing like an idiot. But yeah, thanks so much for being a part of this, guys. You guys are fantastic. Thanks for supporting the stream. Thank you for supporting the channel, and we hope to see you again in the future. Thanks so much, everybody. See you next time. If you can get there by 5:30? Try to get there by 5:30 if possible. If not, that's fine. We'll get it taken care of. If not, you can just use your normal Kronos, you know, for the battle, and I'll hand you over the K26, and you can take it apart after if you want. But yeah, that's fine. See you there. Peace.